There will come a day when you'll look in the mirror and realize that no one is coming to save you. No mentor, no motivation video, no magical opportunity, just you, your reflection, and the choices you make every single day. That's the moment life becomes real. You see, consistency isn't built on excitement. It's built on discipline when excitement dies. It's doing what must be done even when your soul screams to quit. Most people wait to feel ready. They never do. You force yourself to move, to grind, to repeat the small, boring, painful things until they become part of who you are. Because when you show up every single day, no matter how you feel, the universe starts to bend in your favor. Doors open, people notice, progress compounds. Life doesn't reward the talented, it rewards the relentless. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to refuse to stop. Force yourself to be consistent, and suddenly everything starts to make sense. Your pain turns to purpose, your failures become fuel, and your dreams stop being fantasies, they become your reality. Discipline over emotion. Most people live their lives as slaves to their emotions. They wake up when they feel like it, they work only when motivation hits, and they quit the moment discomfort arrives. But success doesn't bend to emotions, it bows to discipline. Emotions are temporary. They fluctuate with your mood, environment, and circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, is a promise you make to yourself and keep even when it hurts. You cannot build greatness on feelings. You build it on structure, consistency, and unwavering focus. The strongest version of you isn't born when you're inspired, but when you move forward with no inspiration at all. That's when your real power reveals itself. The mind must dominate the body. The will must silence the weakness. When you master discipline, emotions become tools, not rulers. You stop asking, do I feel like it? And start saying, I'll do it anyway. That's the difference between mediocrity and mastery, between a wish and a legacy. Look at the life of Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher. He faced war, betrayal, and personal loss, yet he never allowed his emotions to govern his actions. While others panicked, he wrote Meditations, a timeless guide on self-control and virtue. Every night, while the empire slept, he reflected on his failures and strengthened his discipline. He didn't chase motivation, he built order within chaos. His teachings show that true power lies in doing what must be done, not what feels good. When you choose structure over chaos, you begin to understand that success is emotional mastery disguised as routine. Marcus Aurelius didn't conquer because he was emotionless. He conquered because he refused to let emotions dictate his duty. Discipline demands sacrifice. It's waking up before the world does. It's training when your body aches. It's working when no one claps. That's why most people fail. They want results without repetition. They want comfort without cost. But every man or woman who ever built something meaningful had to bleed for it daily. They built habits so strong that quitting wasn't an option. Take the example of Kobe Bryant. He was known to practice for hours before sunrise, pushing through exhaustion and pain. He wasn't chasing a feeling, he was following a standard. He understood that greatness is not about how you feel today, but what you do every day, regardless of how you feel. That's discipline, doing what needs to be done, especially when you don't feel like it. The truth is, your emotions will betray you. They'll convince you to skip the workout, procrastinate on your goals, and settle for less than you deserve. Emotions whisper lies that feel comforting in the moment, but destructive in the long run. Discipline, however, speaks truth. Often harsh, but always freeing. It doesn't care about comfort, it demands action. And that's where transformation begins. Imagine if you acted only on emotion. You'd never stay consistent, never grow, never finish what you start. But when you act from discipline, you become unstoppable. The people who succeed aren't necessarily smarter or more talented. They're simply more disciplined. They show up again and again until the results can no longer be denied. There's something deeply spiritual about discipline. It's a rebellion against weakness, a declaration that you refuse to be ordinary. When you control your impulses, you reclaim power over your life. It's what separates warriors from wanderers, those who have direction versus those drifting on emotion. Look at Jocko Willink, a former Navy SEAL who lives by the mantra, discipline equals freedom. He wakes up at 4:30 IMM every day, not because he loves mornings, but because discipline frees him from the trap of hesitation. He knows that when your actions are dictated by discipline, you become immune to excuses. That's the real freedom, to act without waiting for the right mood or moment. But discipline isn't built overnight. It's forged in repetition, through countless silent battles no one sees. It's when you push through fatigue, temptation, and doubt. Every time you choose discipline over emotion, you strengthen your character. It's like building muscle. Pain today, strength tomorrow. You'll fall, you'll break routine, you'll feel like giving up. But each time you rise again, you build resilience. And that resilience compounds into greatness. People often ask how to stay disciplined. The answer is simple but hard. Stop negotiating with yourself. The moment you start debating whether to do something, you've already lost. Just do it. No feelings, no hesitation, just execution. Real progress in life begins when your discipline becomes stronger than your emotions, when your goals become non-negotiable, and your habits run deeper than your moods. Imagine if every time you felt tired, you worked anyway. Every time you felt sad, you trained harder. Every time you felt uninspired, you created something valuable. Over time, that consistency builds an unshakable foundation. The world begins to respect you, not because you're perfect, but because you're persistent. Discipline makes you dangerous because it makes you reliable to yourself and your purpose. When others quit, you continue. When they complain, you execute. That's how leaders are made. Not through emotion, but through relentless discipline that turns chaos into clarity and dreams into destiny. Small steps, big shifts. Everyone dreams of massive success, but few understand that greatness doesn't happen in explosions. It happens in quiet, invisible progress. The truth is, big changes are born from small, consistent actions repeated over time. You don't climb a mountain in one leap. You take one step, then another, and another, until the summit appears beneath your feet. The problem is that most people get discouraged by how far they still have to go, instead of focusing on how far they've already come. Every small step you take, every workout, every page read, every moment of discipline plants a seed that silently grows into transformation. The process isn't glamorous, but it's sacred. Because one day, without realizing it, you'll wake up and see that all those little efforts built something powerful within you: confidence, strength, and momentum. Progress hides in repetition, and success belongs to those who endure the slow climb instead of craving the shortcut. Think of Thomas Edison. He wasn't just a genius, he was a man obsessed with small steps. When he tried to invent the light bulb, he failed thousands of times. But each failure was a small discovery, a micro step forward, teaching him what didn't work and bringing him closer to what did. He once said, "I have not failed, I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset is everything. He understood that progress doesn't come from luck, it comes from persistence. Each attempt, though tiny on its own, stacked upon the last until it formed an empire of knowledge. And that's how life works. You don't suddenly become successful. You grow into success through countless small acts of effort that most people never see. So the problem with our generation is impatience. Everyone wants instant results, a perfect body after 1 week of training, success after 1 month of work, peace after 1 day of meditation. But mastery takes time. Small steps feel slow, but they're never wasted. They compound. Just like interest in a bank account, the little investments you make in yourself every day grow silently until one day they explode into visible success. The gym session you almost skipped, the book you decided to read, the late night effort you put into your craft. These moments might seem insignificant, but they are the bricks of your empire. The small daily grind is what separates dreamers from doers. You can't cheat the process. Every shortcut you take steals strength from your foundation. But if you stay patient, one step at a time, your consistency will outlast everyone else's motivation. There's a story of a young man who wanted to transform his life. He was overweight, broke, and lost. Instead of trying to change everything overnight, he started small, one habit at a time. Every morning, he walked for 10 minutes. The next week, 15. Then he replaced soda with water. Then he read for 5 minutes a day. Slowly, his energy improved, his mindset shifted, and his confidence grew. Within 2 years, he had lost over 70 pounds, started a business, and inspired others to change their lives. When people asked how he did it, he smiled and said, "I just never stopped taking small steps." That's the power of quiet persistence, the kind that doesn't need to show off because it knows time will do the talking. Tiny victories, compounded over time, create monumental change. Most people fail not because they're incapable, but because they underestimate the value of small progress. They quit when they don't see instant results, forgetting that even the slowest progress is still progress. Every step forward counts, no matter how small it seems. If you write 1 page a day, in a year you'll have a book. If you improve 1% every day, in a year you'll be 37 times better than you were before. Not about doing everything at once. It's about doing something every day, even when you're tired, even when you feel stuck. Small steps compound into greatness. The key is to focus on consistency, not speed, because speed fades, but habits endure. Small actions, repeated with purpose, turn ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. The magic of small steps lies in their ability to reshape identity. When you commit to doing something, no matter how small, every day you start to see yourself differently. You go from saying, I want to be disciplined, to becoming disciplined. You stop chasing motivation and start embodying consistency. That's where transformation begins, not in grand gestures, but in small commitments kept over and over again. Like a sculptor chiseling stone, you refine yourself one strike at a time. Each repetition strengthens your confidence and rewires your mind to believe that change is possible. You start to expect progress, not wish for it, and soon the person who once doubted themselves becomes the person others look up to. That's the unseen miracle of small steps. They don't just change your results, they change your identity. Small steps aren't glamorous. They're not loud, flashy, or instantly rewarding. They require patience, humility, and faith. Faith that what you're doing today matters, even if you can't see the reward yet. The road to success is paved with small, consistent efforts that most people are too impatient to make. But those who embrace the process discover something deeper than achievement. They find purpose. Because every step forward, no matter how small, builds not just skill but character. You stop rushing towards success and start respecting the journey. You realize that greatness isn't a single event. It's a collection of quiet moments when you chose persistence over comfort. And one day when you finally reach the top, you'll look back and realize it was the small steps that built your strength, your resilience, and your destiny. The world bows to the relentless. There comes a moment in life when you realize that the world doesn't reward the smartest, the most talented, or even the luckiest. It rewards the relentless. The ones who refuse to stop, who keep moving forward when everyone else turns back. Life bends for those who never break. Relentlessness isn't a mood, it's a mindset, a quiet, unshakable belief that no obstacle is stronger than your will. Most people give up too early, right before the miracle happens. They underestimate how much power there is in persistence. The truth is, success doesn't require perfection, it requires endurance. Every time you fall and rise again, you earn a kind of respect from life itself. It's as if the universe tests you to see how badly you want it, and when you prove you'll never quit, it opens the doors that were once locked. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. The world eventually bows to those who never kneel. Being relentless means waking up every day with fire in your soul, even when everything around you feels like it's falling apart. It means doing what others avoid, staying focused when distractions scream for your attention. It's standing tall when you have every reason to lie down. People think relentlessness is about aggression, but it's really about faith. Faith that your persistence will one day bear fruit. It's the quiet conviction that no matter how many times you get knocked down, you will rise again stronger than before. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Those who internalize this truth become unstoppable. Their spirit cannot be broken because they've already accepted pain as part of the process. Every setback fuels their determination. Every rejection sharpens their hunger. The relentless don't chase comfort, they chase progress. They understand that pain is not a punishment, it's preparation. Every difficult moment shapes your endurance. Every challenge strengthens your character. Most people avoid pain, but the relentless use it as fuel. They learn to smile through the struggle, to see every trial as an opportunity to grow tougher, wiser, and sharper. The truth is, life will hit you harder than anyone else ever could, but that's the point. It's supposed to test your will. The ones who keep going after being broken, betrayed, and beaten are the ones who eventually win. The harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. The world bows to that kind of spirit, the spirit that refuses to surrender no matter the cost. To be relentless is to live with purpose so powerful that fear has no place in your mind. Fear thrives where uncertainty lives, but purpose burns it away. You can't be unstoppable without something worth fighting for. Relentless people don't seek easy paths. They create their own. They don't ask for lighter burdens. They ask for stronger backs. That's what separates them from the rest. While others wish for circumstances to change, the relentless change themselves. They don't need guarantees, only opportunities. And when the world tells them no, they turn that rejection into energy. They grind harder, go further, and prove that no door stays closed forever to someone who keeps knocking. Energy and persistence conquer all things. That's the creed of the relentless, a belief so deep that even failure becomes a stepping stone. Every success story you admire began with someone who simply refused to quit. The difference between those who dream and those who achieve is not talent, it's persistence. The relentless understand that failure is feedback, not finality. They learn, adjust, and advance. There's a kind of power that only comes from enduring hardship. It's not the absence of pain that builds greatness, but the refusal to let pain define you. When you keep moving forward in the storm, you start to see that struggle is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. The world doesn't hand victory to the deserving, it gives it to the determined. Those who are relentless enough to outlast their own doubt eventually become impossible to ignore. The relentless walk a lonely path, but they walk it with pride. When others rest, they continue. When others complain, they work in silence. They don't need validation because they're fueled by vision. Every sleepless night, every sacrifice, every lonely hour compounds into something extraordinary. People might not understand them, but they can't deny them. The relentless don't seek attention. They earn respect through action. They understand that success is not given, it's taken, earned inch by inch, day by day through an unbreakable will. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win. That's the path of the relentless, marked, doubted, resisted, and finally, victorious. To be relentless is to embody the truth that nothing in life can defeat you unless you allow it to. The world bows to the one who keeps rising, who keeps fighting, who keeps believing when no one else does. It's not about having the perfect plan. It's about refusing to stop executing the imperfect one. The relentless man or woman doesn't wait for conditions to be right. They act and make conditions right through their willpower. They know that persistence is the ultimate weapon, one that breaks barriers, defies odds, and outlasts time itself. Because in the end, the world doesn't remember the ones who started strong. It remembers the ones who never stopped. And that's what it means to be relentless, to keep going no matter what, until the world has no choice but to move aside. Consistency, discipline, relentlessness. These are not just words. They are the pillars of transformation. Every great life is built upon them. When you force yourself to be consistent, everything begins to align. The chaos in your mind quiets, your focus sharpens, and your purpose becomes clear. Discipline turns ordinary effort into extraordinary results. It teaches you to act when emotions try to hold you back, to stay strong when comfort whispers in your ear. And relentlessness, that unbreakable spirit, is what carries you through the storms when nothing else can. Life will test you, break you, and challenge every part of your being. But if you keep moving forward, step by step, refusing to quit, the world eventually yields. The truth is, greatness is not found in one grand act, but in the small, repeated choices you make every single day. Every moment of struggle, every drop of sweat, every time you get up after failure, it all counts. Success is not about speed, it's about endurance. The relentless never wait for perfect conditions, they create them. They understand that consistency builds strength, discipline builds character, and persistence builds destiny. So, wherever you are in life, remember this: your effort is never wasted, your time is not in vain. Every day you show up, you're moving closer to the life you deserve. Keep walking, even when it's hard. Keep fighting, even when no one believes. Because the moment you refuse to quit, the world begins to shift in your favor. Be disciplined, be consistent, be relentless, and watch everything fall into place. Thank you for listening. Stay strong, keep pushing forward, and may God bless you always.